Darkness might be scary, but there's nothing quite as scary as seeing a word problem for the first time. But if you read through the word problem, you'll realize that it really isn't that bad. It's just like having a flashlight. So if I translate the words into math, that's a great way to solve a word problem. I have the plus sign right here. What's a word we can always use with addition? So one of those words would obviously be plus. And since it's addition, anytime you see the word add, you can also know that you are going to be adding things. A couple other ones, we could also say total. If you go to a store, you get a pack of Skittles, a Coke, and a bag of chips, you're going to be asked to get a total, and you add those numbers up, and that's the amount that you pay. All together, it's kind of a similar concept to total. We also have more than. So more than 10 more than 12 is 22. We just add those two numbers up. So more than is another one. Are there any that I'm forgetting? Let's see here. How about the word sum? Right, if I said to you the sum of 6 and 3, that's going to be 9. All we do is add those numbers up. And sum is just an answer to an addition problem. So when we do the minus sign, there's a lot of things that we can just pull right from our list on the left right there. The opposite of plus is minus. The opposite of add is subtract. The opposite of more than is less than. Less than, that's a little bit trickier. So we'll go over that one in a little bit more detail in just a second. We could also say, similar to the sum, we have a difference. The answer to a subtraction problem is known as the difference. Other things we can say, maybe take away or subtracted from, so I'll write those ones down too. Take away and subtracted from. So with subtracted from and take away and less than, those are a little bit trickier to understand because, and I'm actually going to put a little star next to these ones. These ones, you're going to have to change up the order, and we'll go over some problems in a second, but think about real life. If I said, what's 6 less than 12? Well, all you're doing is doing 12 minus 6, which is 6. Moving on to the times sign now, and first word that comes to my mind is multiply, and if not multiply, then the second word would be times. We also see the phrase groups of, or even just the word of. So groups of, or just the word of, a lot of times that will mean multiplication. We could also say the product, right? The product of 6 and 3 is 18. So product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So you might see that one there as well. And there's also special words for things of times too. So if we say double, the price was double, that means the price was times by 2. We could also say Melanie had twice as many marbles as Katrina. She had 2 times as many. Finally, the last thing we could do is division. So within division, the same words probably come up. Divide. You see the words divide. We could also say the quotient of 36 and 6 is 6. We could also use, similar to doubled, we could say halved. Something was cut in half. And speaking of cut into, it's another good one to put on here. Oh, I'm writing all over the place here. So those are other words we could use with division. So these are just some. They might not be all of them, but you'll see these a lot with word problems. So that's going to help you when you're doing word problems.